Hello, hello, everyone. I'm Colleen, and if this is your first time watching one of our live streams or being present for one of our live streams, welcome. So glad that you could join us on this Wednesday. Nice and sunny where I am, and nice starting to get warm over here. So hopefully, it's doing the same thing where you are. So if you're brand new to these streams are brought to you by Princess Dental Staffing, and each week we're bringing you a new topic that covers your career in the dental industry. And today's topic: how should a dental receptionist answer the phone? So, in 2022, there are a lot of different ways that we can communicate with patients, right? We've got email. Sometimes you can send text messages for like appointment reminders. You can communicate via text, via chat sometimes as well. But you're still in the dental industry. You're still going to be getting a lot of phone calls, and if you're a dental receptionist, you're going to be the one fielding a lot of those phone calls, right? And a major reason for that is because again, it's just industry specific. It's the dental industry. You've got patients who are calling you with a lot of time sensitive information. It might be a dental emergency. It might be a last minute change to their appointment or their schedule. So it's just a lot easier to communicate with somebody via phone. Or sometimes they may just need some information that is going to have to be obtained via a conversation, a dialogue, a lot of back and forth, multiple questions that need to be asked and answered. Okay. And that's just a lot easier via phone. Okay. So, as a dental receptionist, it is really, really important that you possess those strong phone etiquette skills in order to, like I said, communicate effectively with patients, but also to give the patient a good impression of your dental office or your dental practice, right? So, that's what we're going to be talking about today: answering the phone and certain considerations about phone etiquette and all of that. But before we dive too deeply into that, let's talk about Princess Dental Staffing. Okay, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board. They have positions available for dental receptionists, front office, dental assistants, dental hygienists, and dentists in a variety of different areas where we've got full-time, part-time, contract or temporary and permanent positions. So if you've got some time today, hop on to princessdentalstaffing.com and see what positions they have available in your area. And while you're on there, you can also create a profile to get your information in front of hiring managers, okay, and decision makers. And they have their blog as well. So you can take a minute to peruse their blog and, take a look at some of their blog posts as well. Their blog posts cover a lot of the same information that we cover in these live streams. So if you ever want additional information on the topics that we're bringing you in these live streams, you can definitely hop onto their blog and take a look at their posts as well. Okay. And speaking of these live streams, each week we're bringing you a new live stream, like I said, regarding your career in the dental industry, covering new topics ranging from job search to navigating the workplace and all of those different sorts of things. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you like the content we're bringing you, drop us a like. And if you have any thoughts, comments, or anything that you want to contribute to the conversation, be sure to comment below. Okay? Alrighty, so let's get into it. So, how should a dental receptionist answer the phone? Now, before we get into our tips and best practices for answering the phone, let's talk about a few considerations before we even pick up the phone. Okay, first one being, when should you pick up the phone, right? How many rings generally, or um, when to answer the phone, I guess, is the best way to say that. Best practice rule of thumb is picking up the phone after 2 rings. Okay, so after it's rung twice, go ahead and pick it up. Now, obviously, sometimes if you're a little bit busier, it might be, on the third or fourth ring, but the goal is to pick up the phone on the second ring, on or before the second ring. Okay, so that's just kind of standard practice. Okay. Um, And then, as a dental receptionist, you're likely going to be multitasking a lot. So before the phone even rings, you're probably going to have a few things going on. You might have a patient in front of you that you're working with. You might be responding to an email. You might be working to figure out an issue or a problem with another coworker. So you're likely to have a lot of different things going on. So you're likely to be multitasking even before that phone rings. And especially when the dental practice gets super super busy, it's really easy for those phone etiquette skills to kind of fall by the wayside. They kind of get deemed as unnecessary, or look like a luxury, right? And that's really kind of it definitely shouldn't, your phone etiquette skills shouldn't be regarded that way, because the person on the other end doesn't know what you're going through. They don't know what's happening. And when they are not getting that courteous service, it can leave them with a really bad experience, and it can generally just reflect back badly on your dental office. So phone etiquette skills definitely need to be priority every time you pick up the phone. Okay. Don't want to give those patients a negative first impression, potentially first impression, or a negative experience if they're a current patient, right? Okay. So other things to consider as well is that when you do pick up the phone and you're answering and you're conversing, with a patient, there are going to be other patients around you, right? Patients in the reception area, patients that are, checking out or checking in. So you're surrounded by your patients, you're surrounded by your customers. So something else to kind of remember and kind of keep in the back of your mind when you're answering that phone and you're talking to a patient on the other line. Okay. So just some things to kind of just kind of consider and to kind of set the stage, okay? So let's talk about how to answer the phone. Okay, so before you even pick up the phone, tip number one, smile. Okay, and I'm sure you've heard this before. I know I've heard this for as long as I can remember. Smiling actually, changes the tone of your voice. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that you are smiling before you even pick up the phone and start talking to patients, because it does change the tone of your voice, and it does kind of help put you in the mindset to speak to this patient, potentially a patient that has an issue or a complaint or something like that. It just kind of puts you in the right mindset before you even pick up the phone. Okay. Additionally, again, you've got other patients that are watching you and that can see you behind that desk. Okay. So you definitely want to have a smile on your face to kind of, again, just to give off that good impression, not just the person that you're speaking to, but also to the other patients who can see you. Okay. Alrighty. Tip number two, respond in a regular, courteous manner and have ideas and scripts on hand that are positive and support the customer service aspect of being a dental receptionist. Okay, so it's a little bit lengthy. Okay. But it is very important. So you want to make sure that you are, when you're in a conversation with a patient, you want to make sure that you're responding in a very courteous manner, in a very polite manner. Okay. And then you want to have kind of scripts on hand as well. So if you're a dental receptionist and you find that you get a lot of frequently asked questions, right? Kind of the same questions over and over again, it's a good idea to respond similarly, right? And that way you start to kind of remember a script in your head. Okay. You start to remember sort of something, uh, just well, like a script, like I said, like a just kind of a something that is regular, and something um, that is your go-to and that you can get through quickly and thoroughly. Okay. So, especially start thinking about those sorts of things when you're answering those frequently asked questions, and just kind of thinking of the best way to kind of respond in a very clear manner and in an understandable manner, so the patient understands what it is that you're trying to convey to them. And eventually you'll start to get kind of a script in your head, and that way you'll be able to just kind of reiterate and quickly answer those frequently asked questions. After a while, it does start to save some time. So it is very time effective, it's very organized, and it is very helpful. Okay. It's also very helpful for the patient. So if you find a great way to explain something, especially something that's a little bit more complicated or that the patient likely doesn't know right off the top of their head, if you find a way to clearly explain that to where, most, if not all of your patients understand that, then again, it's a very great way to kind of save time while still ensuring that the patient understands clearly and giving them an opportunity to ask follow-up questions as well. Okay. All right. Number three, make a note. So make a note of the caller's name and use it frequently. So when you hear the caller's name, make sure you make a mental note of it and that you use it several times throughout the call, throughout your conversation, because name recognition and use can help a patient who is calling feel heard and seen. Okay. So it's just a little something that just kind of helps enhance the patient experience when they're talking to you on the phone. Okay. Number four, offer an appointment. Okay. So offering an appointment can help a patient feel seen and meet their oral health needs. Sometimes a patient it's not something that you can handle on the phone or complete thoroughly on the phone. Sometimes it's best just to make an appointment and allow the patient to come in. And it's also best practice to offer the patient 2 days or times that work for them, because it helps the patient feel empowered through having choices. So if you say to them, um, offer to make them an appointment and then just let them know, okay, I do have this day and this time, or alternatively, I also have this day and this time available as well. Do either one of those work for you? Okay, so something like that. Again, it's just a little something that helps enhance the patient experience and make them feel a little bit more involved in the decision making and having a little bit more control over their oral health decisions. Okay, it's a small thing, but it's something that has a very big impact, just like using their name. Okay. And lastly, number five, hold message, excuse me. Consider having an excellent message on hold service for those few occasions when you need to put a caller on hold. Okay. So, no one likes to be put on hold, right? Whether you're calling your dentist or your doctor or your insurance company or your accountant, it doesn't matter. Nobody likes to be put on hold, but unfortunately enough, it's a necessary evil. Sometimes you just have to put a patient on hold. So something that can help make that experience more pleasant is having an excellent message on hold service. Okay, because so being on hold can be, again, can really feel challenging for patients, right? It can make them feel frustrated. It can make them feel like not a priority, which no one likes to feel that way. Okay. um, so having a really great message that offers value and information about your office to patients can actually make the waiting process a little bit easier, maybe preemptively answer some questions about your office or those sorts of things. Okay, so it can be helpful and informative to the patient, and it also kind of eases that uncomfortable experience of being put on hold, because again, no one likes to be put on hold. Okay. Alrighty. So those are our tips and best practices for dental receptionists when answering the phone. Let's go over them one more time. Number one, smile. Before you pick up the phone, it changes your tone, it changes your demeanor and your attitude, and it helps you move through the phone conversation with the patient. And again, you've got other patients watching you. So having a smile on your face really does go a long way. Okay. Responding in a courteous manner and having ideas and scripts on hand to help support the patient. Okay. So, again, those frequently asked questions, find good ways to thoroughly answer those questions in a courteous manner that helps facilitate that understanding on the part of the patient. And eventually you'll start getting those scripts in your head and you'll be able to have that go to, which helps with your time management in your organization. Okay. Number three, make a note of the caller's name and use it frequently. It just helps them feel seen. It helps them feel heard. It helps them feel like a priority. Okay. Number four, offer an appointment. Okay. Sometimes you can't fix everything over the phone, right? So offer them an appointment, give them, maybe two options so that they feel more involved in some of the decisions that are being made about their health, their oral health, right? And lastly, number five, okay, hold message. So, consider having a really great, exceptional message on hold service for those occasions when you need to put the caller on hold. Because, again, no one likes being put on hold. Doesn't matter, what you're calling about. No one likes to be put on hold. So something that can make that experience a little less frustrating and challenging for patients is to have a message on hold service to kind of give them information, maybe preemptively answer a few questions before you're able to get to them, and just provide a more pleasant experience. Okay. All right. So those are our tips and best practices for answering the phone for dental receptionists. So we hope that you found that insightful, and we hope that you will implement some of those, hopefully all of those tips and best practices at your own dental office. Okay. All right. So glad everyone could be here with me today through this live stream. And of course, we will be back next week, next Wednesday, with another topic discussing your career in the dental industry. Okay. Until that time, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there. And I will see all of you soon. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.